Good morning, everyone. Today is Tuesday, November 16th, and our topic is still human. 1 Corinthians 10:31. Whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. Of this, Chambers points out that in the scriptures, the great miracle of the incarnation slips into the ordinary life of the child. The great miracle of the transfiguration fades into the demon-possessed valley below. The glory of the resurrection descends into a breakfast on the seashore. This is not an anticlimax, but a great revelation of God. And so Chambers first, just to make sure we understand, he's pointing out that these great grand pictures of in the stories in the scriptures of the resurrection and the incarnation, all this, are not followed by, the end, right? You don't hear this, major action in the story that just ends on this high note, but then it goes through these valleys and really ordinary type stories, right? The resurrection, and then, hey guys, want to have breakfast on the seashore? That's not the way people write novels, right? But Chambers points out this: we have a tendency to look for wonder in our experience, and we mistake heroic actions for real heroes. It's one thing to go through a crisis grandly, and yet quite another, to go through every day glorifying God when there is no witness, no limelight, and no one paying even the remotest attention to us. If we are looking for halos, we at least want something that will make people say, "What a wonderful man of prayer he is," or "What a great woman of devotion she is." So in that, the scripture calls us to do all things, right, for the glory of God. And when we think of all things, we think big, grand, major things for God, right? We're being men of prayer, being women of devotion, the resurrection, the incarnation, all these major themes of Scripture and of serving God, the power of God, like in this limelight of God, and through the Spirit with halos shining down. But what Chambers is really trying to hit on here is we have to do all things for the glory of God. The resurrection is for the glory of God, just like the breakfast on the seashore is for the glory of God in the mind of Christ, right? So a true test, he says, of a saint's life is not successfulness, but faithfulness on the human level of life. We tend to set up success in Christian work as our purpose, but our purpose should be to display the glory of God in human life, to live a life hidden with Christ in God in our everyday conditions, Colossians 3:3. Our human relationships are often conditions in which the ideal life of God should be exhibited. So can you exhibit that glory of God today at work? Can you exhibit the glory of God today when you're just at home, sitting there, maybe outside having that cup of coffee right now, right? How do we glorify God in the simple and mundane things of life? When your friends come over, when your kids get up. Let's find ways, though, in which, whether we eat, whether we drink, let us do it all for the glory of God.